Rand Water's 37-day maintenance project has left thousands of residents in Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, Tshwane and Mogale City, Rustenburg and Madibeng without access to water. Makenosi Maroo is the Rand Water spokesperson and now joins us live. Makenosi, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. Can you give us the status of this month-long maintenance project? Where is it at the moment and what parts of the works have been completed?
Good evening and good evening to your viewers. We have completed the two systems, Ekurhuleni and Swartkoppies. So some of the areas that have been impacted in Ekurhuleni include City of Johannesburg, some parts of Mirafong and Mogale City. So the system has been completed with regards to maintenance. It's a matter of now the system recovering. You'll recall we always say when the system is under pressure, the reservoir tends to be depleted and it takes a longer period for us to fill up the reservoir. So
just for clarity's sake, which parts in Johannesburg or which parts of the Rand Water customer value chain have been completely restored back?
Some parts of Johannesburg, I know that it has been completed. People are beginning to get water. I know some parts of Rudaport, North Cliff.
Makenosi, when we say some parts of Johannesburg, what do we mean? Can you give us maybe districts? Can you give us area codes, ward codes, something that gives clarity about the demarcation of which parts have been completed?
All right. For my site as Rand Water, remember we are a bulk water supply. I'm able to give you the reservoirs. So municipalities will break it down into areas. I can give you the reservoirs. Right. I can give you the municipalities. Then remember we put water into a municipal reservoir. They decide in terms of reticulation where water goes from there.
Right. And so just back to that, some parts of Johannesburg have been fully restored, some parts of Rudaport, you said, have been fully restored. Can you complete that list for us?
Yes, some parts of Rudaport, some parts of North Cliff, they do have water. I know whole of Rustenburg, there are no challenges. Mogale City water has been restored also there.
Right. And which parts are to be cut off? I know that Ekurhuleni, a great deal of maintenance is about to be done in Ekurhuleni in the next phase of it, in the July phase. Can you tell us how long that would last and which parts or at least which reservoirs would be impacted?
All right, then we are starting with Ekurhuleni. Ekurhuleni will fall under the Palmit pumping station. So we'll be talking about Ekurhuleni from Monday, the 1st of July. So it will be Palmit and it will be Mapleton. So that's where we're starting. For now, we are still in the two areas we are completing today. And then from Monday, we'll start with Palmit.
Based on the rate of the work, are you guys on track at Rand Water to complete the work by the promised date of the 22nd of July?
Yes, actually, we are well ahead of the schedule. You'll remember we were on Friday when we started, on Saturday last week when we started on the 22nd of June. We were in Mogale City. We completed 9 hours ahead of the schedule with the two systems that we're working on, your Swartkoppies and your Ekurhuleni. We are also ahead of the schedule. So we are really pushing so that people are able to get water.
Yeah, let's put into perspective, Makenosi, about the scale of this level of maintenance that is being done. Rand Water pumps 5,000 megalitres of water to its customers on a daily basis, and of course they reticulate that. When you tell us about the maintenance project, put it into perspective for us based on that scale.
All right. Given the number of customers that we are supplying, we have divided the maintenance into the systems. Maybe just to give an indication, Rand Water has 2 purification plants. From the 2 purification plants, then we supply water to the 4 booster stations, which is your Ekurhuleni, your Swartkoppies. We have completed those systems. Now we are moving to your Mapleton system and your Palmit system. Those systems, they supply Tshwane, they supply parts of Ekurhuleni and some parts of Johannesburg and Madibeng. They are also supplying parts of Govenbegi, Lesedi and Victor Kanye. So we have divided them into systems so that we don't prolong the maintenance period for each site. So different sites will be maintained at different times.
Yeah. And when we talk about maintenance, do we talk about the health of the infrastructure, or are we talking about fixing existing problems? Again, to go back to that 5,000 megalitres of water that is being pumped to Rand Water customers on a daily basis, of course, those are municipalities and they're reticulated thereafter to households, buildings and residential areas. Of that, Rand Water told us last year that about about 2,000 megalitres of the 5,000 megalitres that is pumped on a daily basis was just lost to wastages, leaks. How much of those leaks were in the Rand water infrastructure system that's being fixed now, and to what extent, if any at all, would it bring down the leakage across the system?
All right. The leaks that Rainwater was talking about and the minister was referring to, these leaks are in the municipal reticulation pipelines. So with this maintenance that Rainwater is undertaking, it's a proactive effort that we're undertaking. So we are replacing valves, we are cleaning sedimentation tanks, we are working on a system throughout the system of different areas where we supply water. So it's a proactive exercise in an effort to preserve the integrity and quality of our infrastructure, so that we are able to supply water. So we are talking here more about being efficient with regards to the system.
So nonetheless, your customers will after this still be wasting, leaking 2,000 megalitres of water if those leaks in the reticulation system of municipalities remain intact, I'm assuming.
Right. You know what, without even speaking on their behalf, I know that we are having meetings with them every morning, most especially the metros. There are plans in place to work on fixing the leaks. I know Minister has been on that project. So municipalities are working on really fixing that leaks, because we do look at figures and they make a huge difference with regards to the water, the amount of water that we are supplying to the residents.
I just want to get back to the actual maintenance project, but just one more superfluous question here. What is the capital expenditure of this maintenance project?
We have budgeted over 20 billion for the next 5 years. So it can't be just 1 month or 1 year. It's a 5-year project that we're undertaking.
Right. And just lastly, let's go back to the actual management of the maintenance project. Some communities have reported not being able to access the water tankers that they were told would be made available and put on site. Is there any communication about where to locate those?
I know that municipalities are the ones who are supplying tankers, whether it's stationary or roaming tankers. So we would encourage residents to liaise with their municipalities and to give them an indication where there are no tankers, if there is a need for that. Because some areas, I know some customers have been calling Rainwater saying we don't have tankers. The advice would be please speak to your municipality.
Were municipalities not adequately prepared for this maintenance project before it kicked into gear?
They were well prepared. We gave them adequate time, more than 21 days notice for this project. The communication protocol is to give them 21 notice to prepare for this project. So we gave them well ahead of time. I think it was more than 25 days, so that they can have contingency plans in place.
Did they communicate back that they had sufficient time to put contingencies in place?
Yes, they did. Because remember, as I was indicating, we have our meetings every morning.
Right.
They would have indicated if there were challenges.
Yeah. The date for when this is to be completed was the 22nd of July. Is that date still the date that Rand Water still is targeting, or has it moved closer?
No. The initial date, remember we said we're starting on the 22nd of June up until the 29th of July.
Right.
The date is still standing, yes.
And you guys are on track to complete by that date?
Absolutely, we are.
Yeah. Makenosi, thank you so much for your time this evening. I really do appreciate it. Makenosi Maroo is the Rand Water spokesperson.